job, by the way, taking care of all the pilgrims, making sure every need is met. We love having her come along as the escort. We're now in Qumran. This is cave number 4, where some of the most famous Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. This is an amazing mountain range here, Salt Mountains, the Judean wilderness. And these are all the pilgrims, and we've been talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls and Qumran and John the Baptist and the baptism of Jesus. And right over there, by the way, is the Dead Sea and the mountains of Moab, where Moses died and was buried before the children of Israel crossed over and took over the Promised Land. And right over in this direction is the fortress of Machaerus in Jordan today, on the other side of the Dead Sea, and this is where John the Baptist was imprisoned and beheaded. And here we are back at cave number 4 in Qumran. We're on our way now from Qumran to Masada on the bus, and this is the road that goes along the Dead Sea, and on the right are the Salt Mountains. They rise up thousands of feet, and now we're going past the place called En-Gedi, where David was hiding out when he was chased by King Saul.
And you're never going to get rich doing what I do, which is not my intent. And so I have been praying to Mary and praying to St. Joseph and St. Colby and just saying, you know, if it's not asking too much, I really, really need a sign. And shortly after that, within about 2 weeks, I get a call from Steve, and he tells me about this Footprints of God production, and I'm listening and everything. He says, but we need you to put together a proposal in 2 days for the whole series.
The end, with a dramatic project.
We're watching a movie here at Masada, so that the pilgrims will understand what took place here before we actually go up to the top.
Description of the account, and everyone around him could actually hear the echoes of the fighting. Or we could.
We're now on the cable car going up to the top of Masada. Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Tzidkenu, Adonai Yeshuateinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Tzidkenu, Adonai Yeshuateinu. We're going up with some Jewish people singing here. The first half of our group is now here on the top of Mount Masada in the Judean wilderness. This is the cable car station. This is where you get a ride up from the bottom. Actually, this is our cable car. This is the second half of our group coming up right now. We got split into 2 groups. And if you look down, you'll see the way that people used to come up in the old days. There's even some coming up the path right now. Used to be stairs. Those were the bad old days. Today, we get to take the cable car, and there's our group going to be getting off in just a moment. We're on the top of Mount Masada now, and everybody's gathering here to this point because this is a very historic point. We're looking out over the valley below, and this is where the Romans built the ramp. In fact, if you could kind of see the white triangle going down, that's where the Romans built the ramp to come up and get the Jews. And even over here we can still see the stone encampments that they built, where they lived for several years while they were building this ramp. We're still on the top of Mount Masada looking out over the valley below in the Dead Sea. And you see all of our pilgrims up here all looking out over the land. And what we're seeing right now is down below, this was the fortress of Herod. It was actually on 3 levels. You can see part of it right here. There's no way a camera or a small video can describe the immensity and the magnitude, how impressive this site is. We're on our way from Masada to Jericho. We're going along the Dead Sea, heading back north. The mountain range along the side of the Dead Sea. This is Assam, our driver, who's doing a great job. And Amir is sitting up here in the seat in front of me. And we're on our way to oh, there he's going to wave to us. There's Amir. And we're Here we are at the buffet line in Jericho. Give you an idea of the food that's available. All kinds of vegetables and rice and shish kebab, falafel, spaghetti, chicken. Plus there's all these kind of drinks. And frankly, this is only one of 6 lines. Look at it, there's 6 lines going here at one time. So this is all pretty good stuff. Up here's the eggplants and the fries. Here's some of our folks eating lunch here. The Tai-Bei beer, I see.
You finally figured out what it was.
It's good. A Maccabi beer and a Coke. Some more Tai-Bei beer. And there's Becky. We're in the store here in Jericho and people are having a very good time. They have things here that are not anywhere else. And there's also a camel here for people to ride outside. So this has been a wonderful stop here for everybody. And there is Amer. There's our group out there in the Dead Sea. They're not swimming yet, they're only up to their ankles. But that's our group out there in the Dead Sea. They'll get under the water eventually, I think. These are our people out there covering themselves with mud. There's some of them floating, and there's Roger Powley. I see him out there covering himself with mud. Now the group is all laying on their backs, floating in the water. They got the mud off, and now they're just laying on their backs, floating around like cool babes who have it made.
God of peace and love, may our offering bring you through worship and make us one with you. Grant this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Lord be with you. And also with you. We give it all to the Lord. Let us give thanks to the
We now have the blessing of all of the holy objects that were bought.
brothers and sisters, these symbols of religious devotion that you have brought to be blessed express your faith in various ways. They serve to bring to mind the Lord's great love for us, or to increase our faith. When, therefore, we call down God's blessing on these articles, our foremost concern must be that our Christian lives bear out the kind of witness we give by using them. And so let us ask the Holy Spirit to descend upon these articles and bless them. Blessed be your name, O Lord. You are the font and source of every blessing.